So the announcement for October's PlayStation Plus games is actually due tomorrow. Now we are expecting something pretty cool, and with the announcement of like PS5 and stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a little surprise this month, and obviously some more information on the PlayStation Plus collection. We've got quite a bit to talk about today. There is a rumour for a racing game, which is a AAA title, which you guys are going to love. We've got a raffle for a brand new release title, and some other free stuff and news as well, so stay tuned. Now, before we get into the video, if you guys are looking to renew your PlayStation Plus, if you're looking to pick up PSN credit, make sure you check out Instant Gaming. Usually they're around 20 to 30% off. There is a link in the description that will give you a little bit more of a discount as well, and it is definitely worth checking out. But let's get into it. Now, we did the drop yesterday. It's been a while. Every single week I kind of look at what new games are getting released, and a lot of the time I'm disappointed. There's either nothing new coming out, or there's like one game that I'm slightly interested in. But yesterday we got to do the drop video, and the main game that I'm actually interested in that's coming out this week is a game called Crash Bandicoot 4. Now, the only reason I'm actually curious about this one is because growing up, I've always kind of stuck with Mario, occasionally gone over to Sonic, but Crash Bandicoot's something that I've probably played the game for about an hour in the whole kind of series of every Crash Bandicoot. It's just not something that's ever interested me. But looking at the gameplay for Crash Bandicoot 4, looks pretty fun, looks quite cool, and I like the changes that have been made. I like the customization stuff, and the fact that there's no microtransactions. That's due out later this week, and it looks pretty cool. Now, I know the main thing that you guys watch for are like the rumours, and the rumour is for a racing game that's a little bit different. I'll be honest, not my style of racing game. It's because it's a motorbike game. It's Ride 4. When it comes to racing games, I'll be honest, I tend to stick with what I know. I usually play either Project Cars, Drive Club, or on the Xbox and play Forza. Everything else, I've never really touched it. I've tried Grid, I've tried Dirt, and never really been interested in Ride. I played a demo for one of the Ride games a couple of years ago, and it just wasn't for me. I don't think it's because it looks bad or it plays bad, it's just I don't think I could just control the bikes properly. So yeah, really put me off. But Ride 4 going on PlayStation Plus, I think tons of people would be happy with it. It has been a while since we've had a racing game on there. And obviously multiplayer and stuff, you guys can kind of get in together, race against each other, competitions and whatnot. So yeah, personally I think it's a pretty decent looking game. It's just one that's probably not going to be on my list of stuff that I actually really want to play. You guys, if you're after getting some free stuff, we kind of started doing this last week rather than a dedicated video, just kind of looking at what free stuff you guys can get on your PS4 for any games, whether or not they bought, or free stuff. And there's some free stuff on Destiny. Now, Destiny went free to play anyway. But if you're interested in getting some free gear, you can actually get the Colony Exotic Bundle for completely free right now through Twitch Prime. So if you've got an Amazon Prime membership, you can link it over to Twitch and get yourself some free stuff. And if you haven't and you want to get it free anyway, again, down in the description you'll see a link that will give you a free trial. Don't worry, you get to keep the stuff forever. It's just you've got like 30 days to kind of ransack and get as much free stuff as you want. I'll leave a link down below so you guys can check that out, just in case you don't have an active membership. But yeah, get yourself some free stuff. Now, I always get comments on the videos and stuff asking what I'm playing at the moment. It tends to fluctuate. I'll spend like a week or so playing a certain game, and then I'll end up jumping on something else. This week, I've actually gone back to playing No Man's Sky. Now, I was addicted to it for a long time, until I got to the point where I'd kind of unlocked everything that I wanted, found everything that I wanted, found a decent planet to build on, and I built a pretty decent looking base. And yeah, there weren't else much left to do apart from just gather materials and just visit every other planet in the game, which is actually impossible. But the Origins update that came out last week added a load of new content, which was pretty much just cool changes to planets, to the point where there's now lightning storms, tornadoes, volcanoes, and giant sandworms. Now, the update for the game looked absolutely amazing, and I love the look of the planets. For me personally, whenever I've played the game, a lot of stuff tends to look pretty much the same, just different colours. There wasn't as much variety as I'd like. And now that's kind of been updated, it gave me an excuse to kind of jump into the game, explore, and see if I could find anything that looked pretty cool. Granted, the time that I've played, there's not actually been that much that I've found, but looking at YouTube videos of what other people have found, planets colliding and all that sort of stuff, it looks really awesome, and it just kind of makes me want to play the game for a bit, just to mess around and explore. Shout out time for you guys. Now, Now, every time we do the Tuesday video, I tend to look through all the comments, find a nice one, and kind of do a shout out. So if you want to get a shout out, make sure you leave something nice and say hi. Suxy A, great video, man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy this one too. Next up, we're going to look at my predictions, and then we're going to go on to a giveaway that we're doing for you guys, where you can get your hands on a brand new release title before it even releases, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. Now, the first one that I'm going to go for is a game that looks pretty cool, it sounds pretty cool, but for me, it's got one problem, and I'll get into that in a minute. The game's DayZ. Now, I love the idea of this. You kind of spawn in with nothing. There's zombies around, you've got to creep around, you've got to find food, you've got to find water, you've got to try and survive. But there's other people in the same world trying to do the same. People are attacking each other. You can walk and try and find an army base to find weapons and find ammo. You see a zombie, you can either run away from it, hide in a building and wait for it to go away, or try and take it out before the horde comes in. Now, the one problem for me in this game is I love multiplayer. Now, even though you can actually play this with your friends, it is so awkward to do so. Simply because when you load up the game, you'll pick a server to jump into, and that's great. Apart from the fact that when your mate joins the same server, they'll be somewhere completely different on the map. But there isn't an in-game map. You have to download an app onto your phone, which will show you a map of the game. But obviously it doesn't show you your location. So then literally you have to go finding street signs and points of interest to try and figure out where you are on the map. Your mate has to do the same. And then you have to try and use that to meet each other. Yeah, and then if you die, you'll spawn somewhere different. For me, that's the only problem. I think it's one of them games that it plays easier if you play it solo, but it's just not as fun. I mean, you can play it in a party with your friends and kind of just mess around, and if you bump into each other, great, but if you don't, just have some fun. But for me, the multiplayer aspect kind of lets it down. And the second one that I'm going to go for is a game called Forager. Now, anyone looking at this is going to go, ooh. It doesn't look the best game. I actually played this on PC a little bit, and it plays quite cool, it plays quite fun. For an indie game, it's something that you can get a little bit addicted to. So if you're looking for something new to play anyway, and this was to go on PlayStation Plus, I would definitely recommend giving it a go. Now, the Raffle. This is a little bit different. Now, I mentioned last week, we started up and we partnered with Rocks, which is an online collectibles thing where you collect stuff from your content creators and that sort of thing. There's free stuff on there, but it's just a way to kind of show your support by picking up the new ones. Now, new ones get added pretty much once a month or so with the new games that go on PlayStation Plus or anything cool that I kind of come up with and create myself. And there is a new game coming out in the next couple of weeks called Little Big Workshop. Now, it looks pretty fun. It plays very much like Tycoon style, like theme hospital, theme park, that sort of stuff, where literally you have to run your own big factory. It looks quite cool. Now, for anyone that picks up the Little Big Workshop Rocks, you will be entered into the raffle. And all you need to do to enter is send me a screenshot with that in your library to show that you picked it up, and I'll be picking someone out of there. The winner will be announced before the game actually releases. You will get the game the day before the game releases, just so you kind of get to play it early, which is always nice. You get to try it before your friends. So yeah, now any of the games that do go on PlayStation Plus, if you're looking to find people to play with, make sure you join the Discord. We've been doing play-along stuff on there. We jumped in a Jackbox game a few days ago, which I wasn't streaming, so we all kind of jumped into someone else's stream just to play along. We've also been playing Among Us and other stuff as well, so make sure you join there. It's tons and tons of fun. But that's pretty much it for this one. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, a like would be awesome. As soon as the announcement is made tomorrow, the video will be going straight up on the channel, so make sure you got your notifications on just so you don't miss out. But that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time.